Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Cooper. I'm here to go over the answers for the Everyday Math Review Day 2. So before you watch this video, make sure you have completed the slides that were listed on the page first, and then this is the answer time. So for number 1, it says complete the table of 3's multiplication facts. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 3 is 12. Remember, if you don't know what the answer is, you can always do repeated addition. So 4 times 3 would be 4 plus 4 plus 4. For 2 times 3, you could count by 2 3 times and get 6. So what do we notice about this pattern? I notice a couple things. I notice that the first answer is odd, the second answer is even, next answer is odd, the next answer is even. I could type that in the box. You could also type that each time you're adding 3 to the number. So I'm going to say the first answer is odd, the next even, and the pattern continues. All right. Number 2, we're going to solve 4 times 6. What helper fact could you use? And so I'm going to use 4 times 5 because that's close to 4 times 6. And I know that 4 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm going to type 4 times 5 equals 20. And I know that I can add 4 more to that. Since I'm doing 4 times 5 and 4 times 6, I add 4 more. And the answer to 4 times 6 is 24. And so how did the helper fact help me? I'm just going to delete back here and I'm going to say, I know 4 times 5 equals 20, comma, then I added 4 more and got 24. All right. Number 3, solve 8 times 4. What helper fact would you use? So again, I'm going to use 8 times 5. And I know that 8 times 5 is 40. And so if I'm doing 8 times 5 is 40, I want to know 8 times 4. So I'm going to subtract 8. And so I know that 8 times 4 is 32. And so I'm going to explain what I did. So I'm going to backspace and I'm going to say, I know 8 times 5 equals 40. Then I subtracted 8 and got 32. All right, number 4. The square below is divided into how many equal parts? So we're just going to count the equal parts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's divided into 4 pieces or fourths. And then it says for number 5, if I shaded one part of the square below, what fraction have I shaded? And so the first number or the top number is always how many shaded pieces. So there's 1 shaded piece. And the second number or the bottom number is always how many total pieces there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, when you count the total pieces, you count all of them, the shaded ones and the ones that are not shaded. So the fraction that is shaded is 1/4 of the fraction. For number 6, it says Owen made this sketch to help him think about how to break apart the numbers so the fact is easier to solve. Use numbers or words to explain how Owen can use the sketch to solve 7 times 9. So I'm going to type my answer in the box. You're simply just going to backspace. And so what Owen did was he broke apart, he used the break apart method, and he broke apart 9 into 5 and 4. So the 9 really is not there anymore. We're just going to ignore it. Sometimes I even put a mark through it so I don't go back to that number. And so we're going to solve by doing 7 times 5 equals 35. So that's this rectangle, 7 times 5. And then we're going to do 7 times 4. And 7 is this long side because we didn't break it apart. It's still 7 for both of them. So I'm going to say 7 times 4 equals 28. And then I'm going to add those two numbers together. So 35 plus 28 equals, and it equals 63. So I know, down here I'm going to fill in this box, 7 times 9 equals 63. So you just need to show your work in this box of what you would do to help Owen solve that. And then the last one says Ava and Olivia are working together to solve 8 times 9. Ava says, I think 8 times 8 will work as our helper fact. Olivia says, well, I think 9 times 9 will work as our helper fact. Whom do you agree with? And you have to explain your answer. Now here's the thing. I know. You could use 8 times 8 as the helper fact. And we know that 8 times 8 is 64. And then we would just add 8 more to that, and it would help us get 72. We could also take 9 times 9 as the helper fact. And 9 times 9 is 81. And then we would subtract from that, and we would get 8 times 9 equals 72. So I'm going to say I agree with both girls. Both helper facts are square multiplication facts that are close to 8 times 9. You can multiply 8 times 8 equals 64, and then add 8 more to get 72. Okay, so just make sure that you explain your answer and who you agree with. That's going to be important. If you don't explain your answer and you just say somebody, you're not going to get full credit. I don't know is not an acceptable answer. We're in 3rd grade, so we need to make sure that we think about it and try our best and write something. I don't know is not really trying at all. So if you have any other questions, let me know. And remember, make sure you go back and check your work on this as well.